Alright. Let's, why don't we go ahead and load up the screen here so you guys can see what's going on. Alright. Come on. There we go. Yoink, yoink. Alrighty, so let's take a look here, make sure everything's operational. Looks like it. Okay, good to go. Whoops. We should all tab to the right window. There we go. Okay, so we are going to start off with Where the Gods Dwell. So I have played this one a couple of times. And I actually have yet to fully beat it. I got very close. I played a A-side campaign with Patrice off camera, and at the end of the scenario, she just ran out of time, which was unfortunate. It was like one of those situations where if I had like one or two more turns, I would have probably pretty easily won, but I ended up just dooming out, which was unfortunate. Okay. So we have gathered all the encounter cards. We have put the following locations into play. And we start at the plateau of Leng, of course. And then, let's see, we set the 6 Forsaken Tower locations aside, which we have already done. We have set the following cards aside, and then we go ahead and shuffle the encounter deck. So the setup in this scenario is pretty simple, which I do highly appreciate. So our first objective is just to acquire 2 clues. We have a doom threshold of 7, and there's 3 agendas to this act. So let's go ahead and draw our opening hand here. Alright, so let's see what we... Ooh, both weaknesses. Let's get these out of the way, and then let's draw 2. I mean, you're not wrong, man. That's hilarious. I thought that was Ace in the Hole. I was going, yes! Painted World Ace in the Hole. Ugh, so good. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We've got, as far as events go, we've got Storm Spirits. We've got Deny Existence, Sure Gamble. Oh, we have a lot of options here. Intel Report, Easy Mark. Think on her feet? Okay, so... I mean, double... Oh, man, double makes everything so gross. This is a pretty good hand, honestly. Gotta say. I would assume we probably keep the easy mark and put the rest of them down. That makes the most sense to me, anyway. I mean, think on our feet is probably the weakest of them all. But I like the idea of, like, double, use easy mark twice. It's Sure Gamble. I thought it was Hot Streak, and not Hot Streak, I thought it was Ace in the Hole, and I was gonna be like, oh, that would have been so good. But sadly, that is not the case. Yeah, so we're definitely gonna put this. I'm debating on which card between these two I want to keep in my hand. As we found out last time, being able to Painted World Easy Mark was pretty good, but we don't really have any enemy management in our hand, so it's kind of why I'm tempted to keep this and then put this back. I mean, we're definitely gonna put like this, and an Intel Report there. So it's just a debating between these two cards. I think I'm gonna put. So okay, so I know in this scenario there is a location that spawns an enemy, so you could, like, in theory, like, use this to bounce out of the way. But I don't really want to use Painted World to set up my early turns, so I think I'm going to put Think on Your Feet aside here, and then this will be our starting hand here. Fortunately, we drew both copies of Renfield, but I like seeing all of my spells in hand early on in the game. That's nice. So, okay, so let's go ahead and shuffle these back up. just kind of move these up a little bit so you can see them better. Probably don't need that so big. Probably do one of these. Here we go. Should be able to see those now. Okay. So, let's see. So, as far as my turn goes, it'd be like action 1, play this. Action 2, play this. Action 3, play Renfield. And then that would set us up, in theory, for the rest of the game. Huh, weird. Yeah, that's weird. I think that's gonna be my turn. It's just playing my assets. So let's turn 1, or action 1. Let's double. Let's second action, play easy mark and copy it. So gain 2 resources, draw. Gain 2 resources, draw. Okay, so we drew High Roller and Quick Thinking, so that's nice. Okay. Third action. I think third action's probably still play Renfield. We could play Sixth Sense, or we could play High Roller as well. But I think getting Renfield set up earlier is probably better. So we'll play Renfield, and then uses fast action, put a Doom, gain a resource. Alright, so that's going to be turn 1. So we'll go to Upkeep, 5 resources, and another Quick Thinking. Yes, you can. It's actually not too bad. Especially if the broadcaster is nice enough to press Alt on his cards so that you can actually see what's in hand. Double, toil and trouble. Alright, so we're at 2 Doom of 7. Let's make sure we shuffle that up. I'll go ahead and draw our first encounter card for the game, which is a Deep Slumber. God damn it. This card. That's not true, man. I mouse over the cards so you can see them. I like to think I'm pretty good about that. Okay, so this card kind of sucks. I think I'm gonna have to spend 2 actions to get rid of it. So I guess before we do anything else, let's gain a resource. I'm thinking probably play High Roller, get rid of this, so that we don't have to discard a bunch of cards in our hand. So I think action 1, action 2 is going to be this, and then action 3, we'll go ahead and play this. Okay. Yeah, kind of a sad turn, but it... Yes, thank you. That's the proper correction. You know, it's funny. I was watching Optimal Play last week, and it was the first time I had ever heard it pronounced Dole. It can be forgiving. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's forgiving or not, because we need to be set up, right? So. Law of Vigroth. Pandemonium. Peril hidden. Revelation secretly added to your hand. You cannot play cards or commit cards to skill tests with an odd number of words in them. And then it has an action to discard a player card with an even number of words in its title to discard this card from your hand. Okay. So let's see. We currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards in hand. Okay, that was Mythos Phase. Yes. Okay. So let's see here. We need to investigate. We at least have Storm of Spirits and a decent agility, so we can reasonably evade. So I think action 1 here. We'll gain a resource, and then we'll spend 3 resources to play a copy of Sixth Sense. Okay. Let's flip this over. Alright, so Plateau of Leng says when an enemy attempts to spawn an empty location and there's no empty locations to play, you would spawn it here instead. Has 3 Shroud and a single clue. Oh, did not mean to draw that. Damn it. There we go. Okay, so action 2 could be to investigate. Cannot commit cards with an odd number of words. Oh, man. That would be brutal. Ooh. Thanks, JP. Much appreciated. Yoink. Okay. Let's see here. So, let's see. Action 2 could be an investigate, and then this is odd number of words. Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't affect too much of our hand, so... Because we're gonna just play Painted World as an event anyway, so... Okay, so let's action 2. We can investigate 5e3, that seems fine. Cultist is reveal another token. Man, sick of all these reveal another token things. And the skull is currently a -1, so that is a pass. Yoink. Thank you very much. Okay, and then let's see here. I think I'll use my last action here to move into the Cold Waste. Alright, so the Cold Waste is a 2 Shroud and 1 Clue location. Has a forced effect that says after you reveal a Skull, Cultist, Tablet, Elder Thing, or Auto Fail, while investigating here, you must either take a damage or lose an action. Alright, well, that's not the end of the world for us, so far anyway. So we'll go right to Upkeep here. Refresh, Resource card. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're gonna have to discard something. We can probably either discard this or discard Renfield. I'm thinking Sixth Sense. I think it'd be more useful to have a second Renfield than it is to have a second Sixth Sense, so. Well, then I better hurry up and make all of my tests, so. Alright, well, let's go ahead and add our fourth Doom. Okay. And another Law of Yiggorath. Discord. So, this one is the one that says you cannot commit cards to skill tests with an odd number of total skill icons. And then you have to discard a player card with an even number of skill icons to get rid of it. And these things are just annoying because they clog up your hand more than anything else. Also, whose face is that? Has anyone answered that question? Whose face is on Law of Yiggorath? That's what I want to know. Those are the important questions of Arkham Horror, the card game. Alright, so it's our turn. So we need 1 clue to advance. I'd ideally like to play an event we can copy. Thinking it's probably end up going to be the Storm of Spirits at some point. We could also copy Intel Report if we need to. Let's gain a resource before we do anything else. And the third Doom, or the third Doom. Ah, haha. Thank you, Manson. Much appreciated. Okay, let's go ahead and add this to the bag. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do first action is investigate 2v5. And then I am also going to commit this quick thinking to go 6v2. That puts us 4 up, reasonably likely to succeed by 2. Ugh. So the tablet's a -4, so we do pass, but we have to choose and reveal a copy of Nyarlathotep in our hand. It would attack you if we failed. Okay, so we don't fail, but we don't succeed by 2, which is unfortunate. Alright, so we have the clues needed to advance. I believe you have to advance in order to get here as well, because you have to deal with an enemy here. And then if I remember correctly, this is going to have 4 clues on it. So if you haven't played this scenario, the Onyx Gates is how you is how you ultimately end up advancing. And there's like a ridiculous amount of clues that spawn on this location, and then you remove clues based on the amount of evidence of Kadath that you find. So I believe we found 8. Yeah, we found 8 total. So this will, like, I think it's 12 minus your evidence. And I think it's possible to find 13 total. So, okay, so we have 2 actions. We could get rid of these 2. So like this one we could get rid of with like Quick Thinking or Renfield or something like that, and then this one we could... This is the total even number of skill icons. Ugh. So it'd have to be this or this, which I don't really want to do right now. Alright, and I can't even commit this. God damn it. Hold on. So that's going to be a fail, actually. Because I can read cards. Okay, well that's unfortunate. Well, that changes things a little bit, so I guess we're going to have to... Gonna have to change up our strategy a little bit here. Man, these cards are super obnoxious to keep track of, I have to say. So you can't play or commit cards with an odd number of skill tests, or odd number of words, and I can't commit cards to skill tests with an odd number of icons. Ugh, it's obnoxious. So I guess action 1 will probably get rid of this. Even number of words. Yeah. Probably want to hold... Wait, sorry, wrong one. We want to get rid of this one first so that we can commit this with an even number of icons. So yeah, action 2, we'll have to discard Unexpected Courage, which is fine. Ugh. Okay, so let's try this again. Last action, commit this and use this. This will give us +2, so it's 2, 4, 5, 6. Wow, I can count. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 V2. Okay, there we go. Yoink, and then we get an action back. Okay. And this is an even number of words. Okay. I end up liking just getting rid of these things because they're just annoying to deal with, so... I think I'd rather hold on to Intel Report. Alright, that's going to be our turn. Go into Investigation, or Upkeep. Resource card. Draw a Storm of Spirits. And then we'll go to Mythos Phase. We're at 5, Doom of 7. And we draw Banded by the Gods, which is Peril, Revelation, test willpower 3. For each point you fail by, you must choose a different number between 4 and 0. Each player must discard each event and asset from their hand with a printed resource cost equal to the chosen numbers. Okay, so we're currently 3v5. That's probably fine. Let's just test 3v5 here. Woo! Nice. Oh, that's a pass. Yeah, I think you would. I mean, if you fail by multiple points, you have to choose multiple numbers. But I do agree with you. I don't see why you wouldn't just choose 4 most of the time. But we get a free card out of the deal, so guess what do I even want? Like these events are worth copying, so I guess I'd just draw this. Yeah, and most of them aren't even playable for the most part. Like one of them is Connect the Dots, if I remember correctly, which is super hard to set up and not really worth it. Let's gain a resource. And then your jokes hurt. Alright, so we traverse the wastes of Leng, which is no easy task, and the cold bites at our skin, and the bitter winds lash against our face. Even if we encounter no nameless monsters, the land itself may yet claim our life. Ugh, brutal. Sounds like we really are in Canada. You try desperately to stay warm, but there is no refuge in icy desolation. Exhausted, we collapse into a nearby snowdrift. And to our surprise, we feel hard stone thrust into our ribcage. The pain shocks you out of your enervation, and you brush aside the snow to examine what it hides. Eventually, you uncover a curious stone idol in the shape of a horned creature which glows and vibrates with faint energy. In the distance, you hear a stone slab shifting in the snow. So we have to reveal the Monastery of Leng, and then we spawn the set-aside High Priest, not to be described enemy at the monastery. So the High Priest, not to be described, agent of the other gods, is a 5/3/5 enemy. 5/3/3 enemy, excuse me. Alert, Massive, Retaliate. Can't make attacks of opportunity. It has a fast action that says, if this enemy is exhausted, we can spend a clue to remember that you stunned the priest. Until the end of the scenario, this enemy gets -3 fight. Oops. Okay. The Monastery of Leng is 3 shroud and 2 clues, and has a fast action that says investigators here can spend a clue as a group to remember that the investigators maneuvered the priest closer. Yeah, that is true. I do remember that. It's not that special, but we can at least copy it with double, so we can get some utility out of it that way. And it doesn't take up an arcane slot. So once we're done investigating, we can play this shriveling. But we'll have to deal with enemies with this for now. Yeah, I don't know, probably. It is cold up there, man. It is cold up there. Ah, Vase, hello, nice to see you, friend. Okay, so let's see here. So we have 3 actions with our turn. We can spend these. We can move in. We could even just intel report and grab clues that way, like gain a resource, intel report, spend 6 resources and grab all of them. I think it's probably better if we just move in. I mean, this thing can't make attacks of opportunity. What's our objective? Our objective is to... So we can spend an action. If the investigators maneuvered the priest closer and an investigator stunned the priest, we can defeat it. And then if the priest is not... Or if the priest is defeated, we get to advance. Okay. That lays our objective pretty clear here. So we can go like this. So we could discover 2 clues here, and then that'd be enough to spend a clue here to maneuver him, and then we could spend a clue to stun him. So that seems pretty good. So I guess we'll go ahead and do that. Play this. We'll double it. So we get to discover 2 clues. Okay, let's do that. Let's spend a clue to stun him. Oh, Jesus, what did I just do? Spend a clue to stun him. Surprised you don't have to work today, Vase. Do you have Mondays off? And then we can spend a clue as a fast action here to maneuver him closer. So we'll do that as well. And I just place resources just to remember that I did it. I mean... yeah? Duh? I mean, isn't that obvious? Face is the, he's the sugar daddy of the 4 of us. Alrighty, so we can spend an action to defeat him, which is nice. Yoink. So that's going to be our last action for the turn. So it was move, play intel report, do the 2 fast actions, and then we get to defeat this guy, so that's cool. So we'll stuff him in the victory display, and then we advance. Alright, so we used the ability on Act 2A. So despite our fear, or perhaps as a result, we discover a means to escape the creature's grasp. With the creature distracted, we shove with all our might and it topples into the gaping well in the center of the room. Oh, we just frickin' Sparta him. That's hilarious. Letting out a hideous screech in its wake. I mean, you can't just say you were gonna make a joke and then not make the joke. That's even weirder. And then with the monster dispatched, we can explore the monastery in relative peace. Along the ruined walls of the stone building, tapestries depict the history of this land. A history of blood and suffering that you have no desire to remember when all is said and done. Great snow-capped peaks loom over each of these scenes. In just one of them, a castle is woven in black thread. Alright, so our objective now is if each investigator at the Onyx Gate is at the Onyx Gate and no clues are on it, we get to advance. Okay, so that was our turn, so we'll go right to Upkeep here. Resource card. Okay, we draw a copy of Decoy. We're at 6 Doom of 7. Let's go ahead and draw our encounter card for the turn, which is a Whispers of Hypnos. That's a free draw. Nice. So I guess we'll choose combat and agility. Or combat and intellect, because we're going to use willpower. Never know if you're going to need that agility. Alright, so that was that. So we'll go ahead and, let's see. Since we're going to advance anyway, we might as well gain a second resource. Okay. Let's, oops. First action, move. Second action, move. Alright, so the Onyx Gates has 2 Shroud currently, 12 clues, and then after it's revealed, you check the campaign log and remove a clue for each tally mark. So we currently have 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, whoop, god damn it. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. So we need 4 clues. Yeah, so obviously this is oh man, getting slammed in chat. God damn, that is brutal. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so yeah, this location is obviously the difficulty is varying depending on how well you do in Search for Kadath, which I can like and not like at the same time because it can make your campaign very dependent on how well you do on a very difficult scenario, in my opinion. It's like that. My only issue with Search for Kadath is just how long and exhaustive it can feel to set up and take down and set up and take down again, so... But that's neither here nor there. So we need to discover 4 clues. I don't really want to use Intel Report right now, so I guess what we can do is just last action 6 Sense. We're currently 5 versus 2 here, so I don't think we need to commit anything, so I'll just go ahead and draw. That's a blessing. And that's a 0. The black cat reminds us that it's all a dream. Fancy. So that's a pass. Okay. So then grab one of those. Alright. So that's that. And then we'll go to Upkeep here. Resource card. Okay, we draw our 4 of Cups. Get our actions back. Refreshed Renfield. And then Renfield plus the 6 Doom here is going to cause us to advance. Do not try to run now, you are mine. You will never, ever, ever wake up. If it's Act 4, read the following. It is not. We're currently at Act 3. Alright, so we have a Doom threshold of 5. Why do you fight? Why do you flee? I am your future, I am your fate. Another mask for my collection. Another corpse for me to wear. Oh, Nyarlathotep, you silly goose. Alright, so let's go ahead and draw our encounter card. Ooh, another Abandoned by the Gods. So currently testing 3v4. Yeah, I guess we can choose like 0 and 4 if we fail. It's not the end of the world, honestly. Oh, god damn. Okay, so we have to choose 3 numbers. So we choose 0, 4, and I guess 1. It's like, this is one of the most tame encounter cards I think I've seen in a final scenario in some time. I guess it would be if it was like willpower 4 or something. But then I could imagine certain investigators would just get crushed. Or if you're playing multiplayer, because it's peril, so you can't like help other investigators, so you could totally screw over somebody. But in solo, this is a very mild weakness, or a treachery card, excuse me. All right, so that was Mythos Phase. So we'll go to Investigation. Let's Renfield. Doom resource. So I want to go back up to 5 willpower. Do I want to Painted World for this? Would allow us to discover 3 clues in a single action. Because we could pay 4, discover 2 clues, double, pay 2, get the 3rd clue. I mean, we need to compress actions in some way. This is tough, because we have good options all around for Painted World. We have good options to evade as well, with Decoy. Okay, so let's see here. So our whole plan is to grab 3 clues this turn. And then we would advance. And then ultimately we have to keep discovering clues, if I remember correctly. Because of the way the encounter deck is structured for the last half of this scenario. Trying to think here. So, let's see. Like, that would be efficient, but it'd be very taxing on our resources. And we're probably going to need resources at some point to deal with enemies. So we could like action 1, investigate. Action 2. Yeah, this is tough. If only we had another easy mark. 6 cards in hand. I mean, what do you think, Chad? Is it worth spending all of our resources to discover 3 clues in a single action? Alternatively, we could draw the intel report, action 1, and then action 2, play it and copy it. And then save this for later. I don't hate that either, actually. It costs an additional action, but then our last action could be to move into the Onyx Castle. So like action 1, grab intel report. Action 2, use intel report and copy it. Action 3, move. And then that gives us what? Gives us 4 turns. So, I mean, it's not bad. Because then it allows us to save Painted World for sure gambles so that we can pass tests in the future. Like, more important tests that you need to pass. Yeah. I'm, like, talking myself into this, so I think I'm going to do that. So action 1, we'll draw this using Sefina. Then action 2, go ahead and play it, spending 4 resources. So that allows us to discover 2 clues, and then we'll go ahead and copy it, and then pay 2 resources to discover a clue. And then that will grab us all these clues. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. And then we advance. Alright, so we lose all of our clues, and then we read the scenario interlude, and then advance to Act 4A, Truth and Lies. Okay, so let's lose all our 4 clues. And then we go to the interlude. Higher and higher you scale the mountains far to the north. Pale light shines from atop a great black peak, piercing the vibrant firmament, and you know that you approach the end of your quest. You spend untold hours ascending the snow-covered slopes until you finally reach the forbidden steps leading to the castle's great hall. The castle stands astride a precipice that overlooks the entire continent and the ocean beyond. It is a majestic sight. Above, countless tenebrous towers loom, swathed in a vortex of snow and hail. You break a trail through the crusted snow before the castle, and it soon gives way to the smooth, polished onyx. The biting wind quiets to a whistle. You are bathed in a prestigious darkness that fills the vast space. Soon there is nothing but the echoing of your footsteps on the onyx floor and the quiet, lonely stillness of the great hall. Though you have crossed no doorway, you realize now where you stand, inside the halls of the Great Ones. You expected to be met by guards, servants of the gods, or perhaps even those powerful beings themselves, but you were met only by loneliness and foreboding as chilling as the piercing winds outside. You continue forward until at last you reach the end of the hall. Here, flanked by smooth onyx pillars, you find nothing. There are no gods. This place is long abandoned. Virgil is agape. I don't understand. Reveal the Onyx Castle and place each investigator in the Great Hall on its revealed side. Okay. We flip this over and yoink. So the Great Hall is 3 shroud and 0 clues and has an action that says choose another investigator at your location, add a hidden card into your hand to the chosen investigator's hand. So that is useful in multiplayer, but unfortunately we do not have another investigator with us. Okay. Remove each other location from the game. Okay. And then check the campaign log If Randall survived the voyage, proceed to Grand Design 2, and if he did not survive the voyage, we'd proceed to Grand Design 3. But he did survive the voyage. So we turn to Randolph for answers. He has been your guide through all of this madness. Surely he will know what's going on. Finally, he says, gazing upon the hall with wide eyes. We have reached the halls of the Great Ones, upon whom it is unlawful for mortals to look. We knew it was forbidden, yet here we are, our quest complete. He turns to Virgil. Was it worth it, sir? Have you found the evidence you seek? Virgil takes a step back. What do you want about, Randolph? Was this not your idea? You are the one who led us on this quest to begin with. Randolph smiles and places a hand on Virgil's shoulder. Yes, I am. But I am not Randolph Carter. He pulls back his other arm, and before you can react, drives a razor-sharp blade of onyx through Virgil Gray's chest. Virgil's corpse slides onto the polished floor, eyes forever frozen in tragic shock. The being that was never Randolph Carter turns towards you and says, its shadow shifting into myriad shape as it stretches across the ground. Behold, its many voices growl, your just reward. If an investigator's deck contains Randolph Carter, remove him from that deck for the remainder of the campaign. Gross. Okay, bye-bye, Randolph. You dick. Asshole. Just backstabbing motherfuckers like that. The Black Cat is not on our side, right? He's on... I believe he's on the side of Calvin. So we go to Grand Design 5, okay? The crawling chaos splits into 100,000 shadows and vanishes into cold, dank air. Randomly choose 1+1 copy of the set-aside Nyarlathotep enemies without looking at them, and shuffle them into the encounter deck. Okay. There's 5 of these bad mother suckers. Okay. We choose 2 of them. Shuffle the set-aside Crawling Mist and each copy of Myriad Forms and Whispering Chaos into the encounter deck along with the encounter discard pile. Crawling Mist, Whispering Chaos, and Myriad Forms. Along with this. Gross. Alright. Shuffle the set-aside Forsaken Tower locations and put them at random into play. These locations should surround the Great Hall, one in each of the cardinal directions, north, east, south, and west. Until the end of the scenario, each Forsaken Tower is referred to by its position relative to the Great Hall, and then it just kind of gives you an example there. Okay, so yoink, and then we'll grab these Forsaken Hall locations. There's 6 of them. So I'm assuming we just choose, right? Yeah, choose 4 of them. Whoops. So now we're kind of like this. So 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Okay, so that's that. And then, okay. I think that is it. Yes, okay. So then we advance to Act 4A here, Truth and Lies. Okay, so it has an action to spend a clue. Look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. Draw each of those cards with a hidden keyword and discard the rest. So our objective is to find and expose Nyarlathotep's true form by adding copies to the victory display. If both copies are in the victory display, we get to advance. Alright, and then we have 1 action left. So go ahead and give that a shuffle here. Okay, so, yeah. So I guess the last action... I honestly don't remember what these locations do. We have 3 6 cards, so we could draw a card last action, and then maybe next turn we can start doing stuff. Certainly we could gain a resource, but I think I'd rather last action draw a card here. Alright, so we draw Drawn to the Flame. So we'll go right into Upkeep. We'll refresh resource card. Okay, there's an easy mark. That's what I was looking for. Go to Mythos Phase. We're at 2 Doom 5. And our encounter card for the turn is... Wow, that was easy. Alright, so he's Peril Hidden Hunter. Revelation, secretly added to your hand. If you speak the name of this card while it's in your hand and unrevealed, you are driven insane. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it, because I'm the only one playing. Okay, so let's see here. Let's, first action, before we do anything else, let's gain a resource. Let's play Easy Mark. Okay, let's copy it. Okay. Plenty of cards now. And plenty of resources to work with. So that's nice. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 cards? A lot of cards. Surprised. Last time I played this, I drew a lot of enemies. So I guess let's... That was action 1. Let's action 2. Let's move. Woo! Thank you, sir. Go ahead and add that to the bag then. Alright, so action 2 is move. So we move to the Forsaken Tower of Eternal Flame, which is 3 Shroud and a single clue. We cannot use this location's ability unless we have the card that explicitly allows us to do so. And its action is to fight, choose, and reveal a copy of Nyarlathotep from your hand, and fight it as if you were as if it were at your location, and if you succeed, you add it to the victory display. If you fail, it attacks you, and it's shuffled into the encounter deck. Okay, so let's see. Currently have 5 to investigate with 6 cents. Let's go to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll still have to discard a card unless we commit something else as well. I think I'll just commit this as well, and that'll give us 2 icons. So we'll go 7v3 last action. Alright, that's a pass. Mm-hmm. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll still have to discard something, but that is what it is. So go to Upkeep. Resource. Card for the turn is a Deny Existence. Okay. So I think I'm going to probably discard Storm of Spirits. Yeah, that seems reasonable to me. So we'll go to Mythos Phase. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Hold on. Let me grab some source material so I know what to sound like here. Cuz I have a feeling that I would bastardize that greatly. There's like very specific dialectal things that like the Finnish language and those Nordic languages have, where you kind of end up talking. How do you say? Yeah, this is gonna be terrible.
Moi! Today I have a bit different video, and I have here with me Mr. Rally English Lauri. So today...
So there's lots of rolling of various syllables. Yeah. I feel like I'm just talking in a terrible German accent, because that's like the only frame of reference I have. So let us see here. Action 1. We can move. Action 1. Action 2. We will move again to this Forsaken Tower. So the Forsaken Tower of Illusion and Myth is 5 shroud and 1 clue. You cannot use this location's ability unless you have a card that explicitly allows you to do so. Yeah, it's hard, man. It is very hard when you barely have any frame of reference. So we have 1 action left with our turn. This one is to investigate. Equal to its printed health. If we succeed, we would add copy of card to the victory display. And if we fail, it would attack us. Okay. So, currently 5. I think I will stay here and use my third action to play the 4 of Cups, and that will be my turn. Okay. Like I said, man, it's my only frame of reference. As like every other Finnish person watching this just instantly went and watched something else, and I can't say I blame them. Ooh, money, 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 money. Ugh, delicious. Oh god, it's gonna be so good. Delicious. We can take 2 friggin' turns. Holy. Unsubscribe. Mythos Phase 4, Doom of 5. Counter card for the turn. A Restless Journey Fallacy. Peril hidden, secretly added to your hand. You cannot commit more than 1 card to skill tests each round. So that's all of your tests in general. And then it has a fast action to discard and test Intellect 3. If you fail, place a Doom on the agenda and it cause it to advance. Okay. This is interesting. You don't actually unsubscribe. I need your subscriptions for validation of my existence, please. Ay. Okay, so let's see, options. Options. Yeah, I can do that now. Man, we have a lot of choices now. Now we can essentially have 3 turns. Okay, so we currently have a willpower of 6. It's probably better to hold off on testing this until we do a bunch of other actions. So I guess let's first gain a resource. Let's first action. So we're currently investigating 6v5. We could sure gamble to make sure that we don't fail, which would be nice. Yeah, if it's distracting, I can turn it off, but let me know. Doesn't seem like it's too loud. Because I started it. What kind of question is that? I can put a compressor on it. Let me just do that real quick, just so it's not overpowering me. Oh, but why? I don't know. To fill in the voids of silence of me thinking. It's different. I didn't want different. So this is potentially a huge turn, which is kind of why I wanted to take a second to think about it. Okay. We have 6 resources with our turn. We have 1 clue. It costs us an action to look at 3 cards from the encounter deck, which is ultimately how we draw out the crawling chaos himself. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear it. So as far as... Yeah, this is a huge turn, because we essentially get to take 3 turns this turn. So it's like why I'm trying to plan this turn out as much as possible. As far as investigating goes... We can't really commit cards to the skill test, because we don't really have much. I guess we could, like, first action investigate. If we need to, we can sure gamble. Second action move, third action move. Play ace in the hole and copy it, get 2 more turns. At least with 4 resources if necessary. And then once we have all the clues we need, we can go from there, I guess. So I guess let's start by investigating. Let's go 6v5 here. That is currently at minus a bunch. That is minus 4 currently. So we could turn that into a +4. Which is probably what we want to do. So we'll copy this with Painted World. Turn this into a +4. That's gonna be a pass. Okay. Second action move. Third action move. Let's play Ace in the Hole. Let's copy it. We'll get 6 actions. That seems pretty good. Been led to believe that getting 6 free actions is pretty good. Okay, so 6 actions left with our turn. We're at the Forsaken Tower of Primeval Light. 4 Shroud and a single clue. Same deal, can't use the action unless we have a card that lets us. And we get to choose and reveal a copy of the Crawling Chaos from our hand. Test willpower X, where X is its health. If you succeed, you add it to the victory display. If not, it attacks you and it gets shuffled in. Okay. So, first action, investigate 4v6. Yeah. Could go +4 up. Yeah, I feel like being a high roller here. So we'll go 4 up. That's a blessing. That's a -4. Okay, so we definitely passed that test. So let's gain our 3 resources back. Whoops, that's still exhausted. Let's get a clue. Okay. Action 2, action 3, move. Forsaken Tower of Life and Death. 2 Shroud and a single clue. Same deal as a action to fight this time. It uses your willpower instead of combat. And then you can add it to the victory display if you succeed. Okay, so looks like our objective is pretty clear here. So let's investigate. We'll go 6v2. Don't think we need to commit anything else. We'll just do that. Woo! Nice. Bam. Alright, so we have all of the clues. Yeah, it's because this one's like snapped. There. Okay, we have 2 actions left with our 9 action turn. I think let's spend an action, because it doesn't matter which location we're at, right? Yeah, we just get to look at the top 3 here. Oops. Then we have to add each hidden card. Okay. So we add these 2 cards to our hand. And then discard this one. Okay. So what's the northern one again? Oh, that's the one we're really bad at. Oh, that sucks. Okay, well... Okay. And I was hoping to draw the south or the east one. A pocket bag. Yeah, I would agree. There is a lot of encounter cards in my hand currently. We can probably pretty reasonably test this one. We're currently 1 up. We could commit decoy. Because like we're going to advance this turn anyway. And then turn on some Polynesian, let me see what I have in my copyright-free music here. I could play some funky jazz music. I know how much you like funky jazz music. Okay. Yeah, this sucks. I guess to be fair, we could ward this. But I think I'd rather ward something a little more important. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'd have to discard 2 cards anyway. So let's try to do this. We'll commit this. That's gonna be 6v3. Then I'll probably last action draw this. That seems reasonable. Okay. Oh, god damn it. Okay, fine. Man, that -4 has reared its ugly head a lot. Okay, so this goes away as well. Then we advance. Alright, so if it's Act 4, we place clues on each of the Forsaken Tower until it has clues equal to its clue value. Okay. Reveal each copy of the Crawling Chaos in each investigator's hand. Okay, each investigator who did not reveal a copy must either take a damage or horror. For each copy that is revealed, we must choose to either have it attack us and shuffle it into the encounter deck, or it attacks us 3 times. Ugh. I'm okay with this attacking us 3 times, actually. That seems fine with me. Are you looking? Okay, so it sounds like you guys are looking for something like in between all of this. As far as music goes. It's like a lot of my music's more modern because of the editing that I do for the podcast. And I don't want to play something like super dramatic. Oh, dude, Spongle. Man, that's a name drop I haven't heard in years. Okay. So this thing attacked us 3 times, which was fine. Man, you definitely live in Colorado if you if you've heard of Spongle. Oh man, okay, so we need to hurry the heck up here. And then we have to place clues. Man, I was really hoping to draw a south one. I guess last action, as I was saying earlier, let's draw this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we're gonna have to discard a card, but that's fine. Okay, so I guess we'll discard probably this Renfield. That seems okay. Let's go to Mythos Phase. 1 Doom of 5. Card for the turn is a Somnophobia. So we're currently 5v5, and then it's basically a Rotting Remains that we can commit cards to. Yeah, I guess worst comes to worst, I can just deny it, so. Okay. Or we'll just casually pass. Seems fine. don't really want to draw one of these right now, so I'll just hold on to that. Okay. Let's get rid of these. We had our big turn. I guess action 1. Let's... Okay, so... In theory, we have a 20% chance to draw a weakness on the first draw, and then the second draw we'd have more than a 20% chance. 2 out of 9. One of which would really suck to draw. I think first action I'm gonna try my hand at this. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, so these all get discarded. Whew, 3 enemies in a row, wow. Then we have to spend a clue to do that, okay. I guess second action we're gonna try it again. Okay. It's each hidden card, right? Yeah. Aha! There we go. There we go. No, we discarded them. It was even better. Okay. Alright, so let's see. We can use this action to fight one of them, using willpower instead of combat. Okay, so let's do that. Last action. Bonk. And then, okay, so we're testing willpower. And we have this sure gamble to help us out here, so it seems fine. Which one do I want to test? Probably the harder one, I would assume. So we're currently 5v5, I believe, because it's based on its fight value, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, brutal. Alright, so we're testing 5v5, and then we have this sure gamble to ensure, so hopefully we don't draw a tentacle. Alright, so we'll play sure gamble, and then we will make that a +3. So that is a success. So this gets discarded, and this gets added to the victory display. Nice, okay. 24 freaking cards in the counter deck, though. Yay. Investigating or fighting, both of which we're very bad at. So we would need to ideally find the Eastern Tower one if possible. But that is our turn. So let's go ahead and move to Upkeep, resource card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is the one that I think most people complain about for solo. Because it's like the Jazz Mulligan scenario, except that you don't get any additional help. You know, whereas in extracurricular activities, you you know, you at least get an extra 5 cards for every action and clue that you spend. But in this one, you have to draw encounter cards on top of trying to deal with the Crawling Chaos himself, so it's a little brutal in that regard. Alright, so we're at 2 Doom of 5. We draw another Somnophobia. Okay, that's fine. We're just gonna test 5v5. Worst comes to worst, we'll just deny it. Alright, we'll go ahead and deny the horror. And that's gonna be that. That's pretty simple, so we'll go to our turn. we have 2 clues left. I guess action 1, we're gonna have to move back here. Regardless of what happens. Man. Like, we could try to do this. And then we could go to 4, 5. Ugh, so gross. It's like not really helpful. And I know one of these cards is drawing the sign, which would really just cripple the shit out of us right now. This makes us lose a turn. I'd rather not lose a turn either, so... I guess second action we can just move back here, because this is the one we want to do, so... We'll go ahead and... I guess last action, spend a clue. Okay, that gets discarded. That gets discarded, and that gets discarded. Okay, there's 20 cards left in the encounter deck, and we only have like 2 turns left. Ugh. Oh, damn it. we might just have to do this one. If we don't get lucky in the next turn or two, unfortunately. Okay, but that's gonna be that. Go ahead and draw. Woo! There we go. Okay. Alright, so I think our plan now is just to go ahead and do that, and then use this if we need to. Man, this... Ooh, MVP of the scenario, I gotta say. Yeah. So I think that's our plan now, is to do this. Go to the North Tower, and use this if necessary. We have Ward for whatever ails us. Fortunately, that kind of sucks. Okay. So, spawns in an empty location. Alright, so we're currently 4 doom. Alright, so we have to do it this turn. Now we just don't have a choice in the matter. Which is unfortunate. Okay, so let's move, last action. Try to do this. Revealing this. We're currently 4v2. We'll go ahead and, I guess, Renfield, because we can. Resource. Use this. Go to +2. Can only commit 1 single card. So we'll commit Shriveling. And then we have this as backup. So we're 1 up. And then we'll sure gamble. Alright. Bam. I hate you. Hate you. Alrighty. Bam. So that's an advance. Okay, so let's see here. Check the campaign log if the investigators know the truth and the investigators possess the silver key, which we do not. If you did, you would lose all your clues. Each copy of the Crawling Chaos and the Victory display combines to form a single enemy with fight and evade values equal to the highest fight and evade value among the copies. Health, damage, and horror values equal to the total combined health, damage, horror, and victory values of all the copies themselves. All the keywords combined from each copy, and then spawn this monstrosity in the Great Hall. It is the Crawling Chaos's true shape. Place clues on each Forsaken Tower location until it has clues. Otherwise, you proceed to Resolution 1. I mean, we can't do it because we would advance. And then we'd doom out. So we proceed to Resolution 1. Alright. The presence taunting your mind retreats into the shadows, and you are left once again with an overwhelming sense of loneliness. The vast halls of the Onyx Castle are evidence of nothing but despair and sorrow. Whatever gods once inhabited this place left long ago. Coming here was indeed folly. You carry Virgil's corpse out into the snowy peaks of Kadath and bury him outside the castle. You still do not understand what what the being known as Nyarlathotep wanted with him, or with you, but at least now you can leave the Dreamlands behind, if that is truly what you wish to do. In your campaign log, record that the Dreamers escaped Nyarlathotep's grasp. So, Dreamers escaped Nyar. Okay. Each investigator would earn victory X. Each investigator suffers 2 mental trauma. And then we would decide to wake up, remain on the surface, or venture into the underworld. Choose this option only if the Dreamers know of another path, which I don't think I do. Every time I see the word Nyar, it just makes me think of, like, and I'm sure you would understand this, Penguins, is fresh gnar. Have you ever heard that phrase? Gonna go hit up the fresh gnar, bro. It's an expression that snowboarders use a lot when, like, fresh powder hits the mountain. And they go and they surf on the fresh gnar, bro. Let's do it, Patreon. Don't tell me what to do. Yeah, we did it. Sure, Gamble was phenomenal. Yeah. So we either wake up or remain on the surface. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. And we'll give you 1 minute. Alright. 60 seconds, chat. "60 seconds to choose what we do. Does Sefina wake up? Or does she hang out? 'Cause she says, fuck this. Why would I ever wake up when I can stay here?" And the winner is... Alright, Sefina wakes up. Alright, so we go to Resolution 3. You startle awake, riveted and dazed by the magnitude of the dream that held your attention for so long. And yet, when you try to recall any of it, you remember very little. It's all a haze, like distant memories from decades ago. Just the hint of the dream remains: a black castle, a ship sailing through space, a staircase, a black cat. You remember completing some profound quest, but for the life of you, you cannot remember what it was. In your campaign log, record that the Dreamers awoke. If you were playing it as a 4-part campaign, you win! And if you're playing it as an interconnected 8-part campaign, you proceed to Weaver. Yay, Sefina woke up. Alrighty, nice. So, that was Sefina. Gotta say, that was pretty good.